Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are so excited to be back with you guys. Me and my family were sick with the flu, like you saw on Instagram, and so we've really missed you. And I've missed Tawny. We literally just like a Slack here and there. That's it.
Yeah.
So really glad that we're feeling better, and now we are back at it.
Yes, me too. I'm very excited.
Today we are talking about The Hunt from 2020. This is the Patron pick / audience pick because the patrons were the Patreon members were tied. So we left it up to you and you chose The Hunt. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But before we get into it, Tawny, what are you drinking? I just saw you drinking.
Yes, I got some watermelon Vizzies.
Ooh.
Very summery, and so it comes like in a variety pack. So this one's blueberry watermelon.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Vizzy.
What about you?
You always have some new fizzy thing going on.
Well, I discovered these at my job, actually. We had some, and they were like mimosa flavors. And they were so fucking good. And I usually don't like seltzers other than Truly's. So this is my new. I just... what's the word? Discovered? I've just discovered these, and they're very good.
Your new discovery. Yeah. Awesome. I am drinking that pedal water again. So I finished them all and got them replenished with my favorite flavors. This is one of my favorite flavors. It's strawberry, lemongrass, dandelion. I know that sounds bizarre, but it is so yummy, and I'm drinking it in a wine glass.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Yes.
Fancy.
I'm really obsessed with these pedal waters.
I want to try them.
The fizz is real gentle. The flavor is so flippin' good, dude.
Yeah.
I love them all, in case there's anybody who's like, oh, I want to go buy some. I love them all except the mint. And I typically really like mint. Like I love mint tea and like mint cucumber water and stuff like that. But this mint, to me, definitely try it, because it could be just me. I did have COVID last year, so maybe my taste buds are jacked up. But it tastes like a mint, like a toothpaste mint.
Oh, yeah. It's not like a...
So,
yeah.
I don't really like that one, but I like all the other ones.
Okay. I feel like I'll have to order it. I think I tried to go to the website and see where they are selling them in stores, but that didn't... I think the functionality was down or something.
Yeah, I ordered them from their site, but you can also order them from... Amazon, I just saw.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you can get them on Amazon.
I have a similar update. It looks like Ollipops are being sold in a Walmart and I think Target now.
Oh, nice. Oh, shut up. Okay, yeah. Ollipop, here I come.
Yes, I was like so excited about it. I was like, hell yeah.
Target is like stepping it up. I get these little boxes. They're for writers. They're from Scribbler. I think that's what it's called. Go Scribbler. And it's kind of like those monthly boxes, like beauty boxes and stuff, but it's like there's pens and it always comes with a book and the signature of the author in the book. But it also comes with a bunch of different like supplies for writers, notepads, things like that. And it always comes with a snack. And they had this Buddha popcorn with Himalayan pink salt. And I found that at Target. This is my point, is I found it at Target. And also this, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with them. They're like Cheetos, but they're from chickpeas. They're called hip peas.
Oh yeah, I think I've tried these.
So yummy. Also at Target. And now Ollipops. I'm really excited.
The health foods, the options are definitely getting better, I feel like.
Yes, I totally agree.
Hell yeah.
All right, what have you been watching, listening to, reading?
I was just thinking, I know that you write them down, and I should too. I do it every once in a while, but I fucking forget all the time. So What have we been watching? We finished Ted Lasso. All of that. That was sad, though, because then it was like, well, now what to watch? Yeah. I just want to watch that over and over again, kind of. So I have put it on in the background. I did watch the new US Love on the Spectrum whole season. It's very good and wholesome and good. And what else? We started on HBO. There's a new show with Taika Waititi and someone else, and it's called Our Flag Means Death. And it's,
yeah.
Have you seen?
I haven't seen it, but I saw the little, poster for it.
Yeah, that's been funny. That's kind of a nice, funny show. So I'm just in the mood right now for funny, lighthearted type stuff. But I think that's it that I can remember for now. What about you?
I forget what I had shared with you last time because it's been so long. So,
oh yeah.
There's one thing in particular, but I want to save it. So we watched, did I mention about the Our Father on Netflix?
Yeah. Maybe. I can't remember. I watched this also.
Okay. So I'll just do this fast because I don't remember. Sorry, everybody, if I already said this, but I finished all the Heartstopper series.
Oh yeah, I watched that too. Yes.
Oh, did you like it?
Yes. Yeah, it was cute.
Oh God. Okay, so Heartstopper, and then that led me into Love, Simon, which I loved. Love, Simon. That was fantastic. Then that led me into Love, Victor, which I didn't love so much.
That's the show, right? The movie is Love, Simon. Okay.
Yeah, the movie is Love, Simon. Love, Victor. I felt it was almost like a Hallmark-y version. There's conflict and drama, but it's so gently and easily overcome. I don't know. But Love, Simon and Heartstopper, oh my God, I love it. And then I watched Our Father, which was disgusting. That documentary on Netflix.
Total opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes, about that doctor, that fertilization doctor, and how I don't even tell you guys, just watch it if you want to. Wow, that was a trip. But what I mostly wanted to say is I have watched Severance, the entire season one of Severance 3 times. No joke.
3 times?
I binged it myself while I was sick. Then my oldest daughter came home from college and I made her watch it with me. So we binged it while I was sick. And then I made Steve watch it. So we binged it together. I've watched it 3 full times. It's just really great. Thank you, Tawny, for it to feel this powerfully excited. So much so. Okay. I emailed the CEO of my company, tell him to watch it. But this is why. I know this sounds weird.
That was random.
But for my day job, we were having an all hands meeting. And one of the guests they had, one of the questions they asked him was, oh, what shows are you watching? And he goes, Severance. And the CEO of my company was like, oh yeah, I've watched the first few episodes. I'm not sure if it's for me or not. I had to let him know. And I wrote my entire team and was like, please watch this. Please watch Severance, get to episode 5, because then after that, it all comes together. And if it feels like it's slow, like there's lots of detail, the details are important. So at least feel good about that. Just watch, let it bring you on this ride. The fucking last episode is so fucking epic. I have cold chills right now and I've seen it 3 fucking times. Yes, this is a show where as soon as it comes out, I'm going to watch it. There's not many of those. As soon as it comes out, I can't wait.
Yeah, we were so disappointed to get to the end of the episodes and be like, fuck, now we have to wait for the next season.
Yes.
It's so good. I feel like it is probably one of the best shows that I've seen in a long time. Maybe since The Great. But The Great is fun. It's not really
it's not
serious.
Shocking or it's fun. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, and so it's a really great show and I highly recommend it. I always tell people to watch it. It's the best show. We talked about it so many times that we watched last year, but The Great is light and it's not really a journey where you're I don't know,
Yeah.
it just feels different. And so I felt like, man, this is the first time I've watched a show in such a long time that I felt like is so just intriguing and really grips you. And like, I want that so bad. Like, I want the next Game of Thrones, like, bring it to me. I feel like it's not quite to that level, but it is like you're saying, I could sense all of these details are important. You do have to kind of like just be along for the slow pace. It is kind of slow paced. Like,
until
I would say
episode 5.
Yeah, it does pick up, but even then, I think it's very deliberate,
Yeah, I think, you're right. It doesn't go fast, but things start coming together for you. You start getting some answers that you're longing for. So I think that's why it feels like, okay,
yes,
I'm getting some of these answers.
I love shows like this, though, where you're just like, what the fuck is happening? Like you can string me along for many episodes and make me feel like, what the fuck? I need some answers. And
yeah, Steve and my oldest almost gave up. So we watched the first 2 episodes together, all of us, and they gave up.
Okay. So then you brought him back in.
I brought him back in separately to watch it. This is also a show where every single character, you just, God, they're so good. They're so good.
They are. They're so they're so real. They're so fleshed out. And like, it's great. It is a really great show. God, I want to rewatch it myself.
Yes, you should. I would rewatch it. If someone came in, if my other daughter was like, Mom, I want to watch a show. Let's do it. Let's sit down. Let's go through it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Except
I'm so
I was
glad.
probably like a backseat driver for like Steve, because he kind of looks at his phone and watches and looks and watches, right? And then something will happen and I'll look at his face when I know it's something. We're like, oh, here it is. And I'll look at his face and see if he goes, oh, and if he doesn't, I'll go, did you catch that? And he'll go, yeah, I caught it. And I'm like, really? Because he said this because of this. And he'll go, oh, and I'm like, you almost fucking missed it.
There were a lot of times watching the show that I would pause it and I would turn to Jade and be like, I don't understand what just happened. Can you explain the subtext of that to me?
Oh gosh. So hopefully we have inspired all of you to go. Apple TV was the best thing that I've invested in. I'm
Me
so
too.
excited. We're going to watch Ted Lasso next.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh God, I love Ted Lasso too. It's so good.
I did watch just the first episode of Love on the Spectrum and I'm like, I'm back home.
Yeah.
Like, I love this show. I'm so excited that we have more stories and more people and we get to hear their journey. And I don't know.
As you watch them, we should talk about it.
We should.
I don't know. Funny to just talk about. Be like, I don't know.
I just
have questions.
Yeah. I love just the innocent, straightforward, honest, and just this, hope and search for love and the life that they dream despite all obstacles. I'm getting all romantic about it. I fucking love this show.
Yeah.
But that's it for me.
I remembered something as you were talking to. The newest season of Love, Death, and Robots is out, and we watched that pretty quick because they're like, I think there's only 8 episodes and they're all like 15 to 20 minutes, really short. Have you watched any of these? I can't remember.
No, I know. What is this on?
It's on Netflix.
Love, Death, and Robots. Does not sound like anything that I would even give a shot, but since you're saying it's good.
It's weird because it's an anthology series type thing, and so it's hit or miss. Like some episodes are better than the other ones, but there are a handful of like really fucking cool ones. Like I definitely recommend checking it out. Just see.
Is it like scary or is it funny?
Some of them are comedic. It's a mixed bag. Some are comedic. I would say most of them are sci-fi based, and some of them are like sci-fi horror. And so,
is it like a Black Mirror where there's different stories?
Yes, kind of.
Oh, okay.
But I think all of them are animated to some degree. Most of them, I would say most of them are completely animated. So it's basically like an animation showcase. It's really cool.
Okay.
Really, so everything's different. Animation styles, characters, stories, like every episode is like a totally contained different thing. But in the last season, They have one of the episodes, I can't remember what the actual episode title is called. It's called like Bad Seas or Bad Trip, something like that. And it was directed by David Fincher. And it's like one of the horror ones, sci-fi horror. It's so good. I think it might be one of my favorites of the entire series. So definitely check that out. Other horror lovers.
All right, I'm going to check it out.
And you should definitely check it out, yeah. I feel like your kids would like it too. I don't know what makes me say that, but I think they'd like it.
Could TT watch some of them, or are they too much?
You might want to check them out first. Because
Okay.
I think there's a lot of like, it's just hit and miss. Like,
Okay.
I remember maybe a couple that might be appropriate for her, but some of them, I mean, a lot of them are pretty gory, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, we'll check that out. So we got Ted Lasso and Love, Robots, Death and Robots.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, that's it for me, I think.
Well,
Until I remember something else.
All right, you ready to get into this movie?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. We are watching The Hunt from 2020. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I watched it with commercials for free with Freevee.
You did?
I did.
Oh, shit. I should have done that. Well, now I can go back and rewatch parts that we'll talk about later.
I usually don't like to do the commercials, but I was like, I'm just lying here. I'll do the commercials. And it was good. It wasn't bad with the commercials. The director was Craig Zobel, and he has also directed Z for Zachariah and Compliance. I don't know.
Okay.
I have not seen any of that, but the budget was $14 million. The box office was $16.2 million. They struggled with COVID. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 57%. IMDb 6.5 out of 10, and Letterboxd was 3.0 out of 5. I giggle because the cast, I literally wrote 2 people. There's like a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Tons of people.
And a lot of famous people too.
Yeah. I don't think I wrote any of those people down. Like, but these 2. Betty Gilpin was Crystal, and Hilary Swank was Athena. There was a lot of other people, like you probably saw on a lot of the advertisements. Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Right. And like there was a lot of people in it, and they did a good job. But I looked at the cast and I'm like, I could have put these 2 people down. And that's it.
I noticed also just looking at the credits that one of the writers was one of the writers for Game of Thrones too. Just a little shout out. And if you're wondering, where have I seen that main lady, Betty Gilpin? I wondered this too, but she was in Glow. She was one of the main characters in that show Glow on Netflix.
Oh, was that wrestling show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a fun show. I don't think I finished it, but I liked what I watched.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. 2 minutes with Tawny.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're over 2 minutes with Tawny.
Oh, shit. I'm going to have to go get my laptop. I didn't even bring it in here. What am I doing?
I can pull it up if you want to pivot. I can just pull up Wikipedia.
No, I have it. Let me just go grab it.
Okay.
Turn back now if you don't want this spoiled. You should also know that as our main character, I refer to her as either Crystal or Snowball. So
yes,
just as I go through, I think I just started like fucking them up towards the end. So just so you know, same person. Okay, so the hunt opens with some friends going back and forth over a group text about their plans to hunt some deplorables at what they're calling the manor. Then we see a group of people wake up in the middle of nowhere with bits in their mouths. They get the bits off when one finds a key and begin arming themselves with weapons found in a crate in the middle of a field. That is everyone but one woman who we see making a makeshift compass. Almost all of the group get murdered in terrible ways, getting shot, blown up, and even falling into a pit of spikes. A smaller group manages to make it over a fence and runs to a gas station nearby, but the gas station people are in on it too and kill the 3 people before radioing the rest of the group. These people are organized and widespread. One person mentions Snowball. This girl is headed their way, so they get the gas station cleaned up. Snowball is our smart survivor from the beginning. Oh, I already said that. It's been like a week since I wrote this. So. She asks to buy some cigarettes and asks where they are. She asks to buy some cigarettes and asks where they're located. The couple reply that they're in Arkansas. She attacks and kills them both, stating the price of cigarettes in Arkansas was the giveaway and the cigarette box is empty also, she realizes. She pokes around and pulls an American license plate off the booby-trapped car outside, revealing that she's actually in Croatia. Snowball runs into another survivor, Gary, and they hopped a train to get out of here. Why can't I read today? Snowball runs into another survivor, Gary, and they hop a train to get out of here. Unfortunately, the train is stopped by some kind of police who detain a bunch of refugees on the train with them. Gary believes they're in on this too and are crisis actors. Which one of them is? Gary kills him with a grenade to the dick. Snowball is taken to the refugee camp where she explains she's being hunted and meets up with another survivor, Dawn. A member of the U.S. Embassy picks them up to get them home, but hold on. When he makes a comment about why they have been chosen to be hunted, Snowball is tipped off that he's in on it too, and she kicks him out of the car and runs over his head. Enter the tortoise and the hare parable, but way more fucked up, where the hare kills the tortoise's whole family and eats their dinner because he always wins. This is a fucked up story that Crystal's mom apparently told her. Which side is which remains to be seen. They find a map to where the rest of the group is hiding out, and Snowball takes everyone last out. She kills Dawn after a voice over the radio makes it sound like Dawn is in on it too. She tells Snowball to come find her. Snowball finds Athena in a very fancy house, some would call it a manor, and it's revealed that the chat from the beginning was a joke that was leaked. People took this as fact and created outrage over it, resulting in all of the people involved getting fired. Then they decide to actually hunt down the people who spread this rumor, and Athena included Crystal because she wrote a comment about her somewhere online. Crystal informs Athena she's got the wrong Crystal, and everything she thinks she knows about her is wrong. They fight to the death, breaking glass and fucking each other up with kitchen items until Crystal asks why they named her Snowball. Since they're using Animal Farm as the inspiration, Athena should actually be the one called Snowball. Athena then asks Crystal if she is the real Crystal, which she is not. Is the right Crystal, which she is not. Athena says, whoops, dies, and Crystal gets the fuck out of there, being the only survivor. The end.
Okay. What did you think, or how did you feel about this movie?
I will say this movie surprised me. I knew it was out there, and I kind of knew basically that it was about like people hunting other people down, but I kind of avoided it because I just felt like it was going to feel like Ready or Not. You know, like I just feel like it had kind of been done over and over again. So I went in with very, very low expectations. But it really surprised me. I didn't think that it was going to be comedic in any way, and I didn't expect the extreme, like, gore. And I liked that. There was, like, a good mix of gore and comedy for me. So I don't know. I guess I was pleasantly surprised overall.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Me too.
All right.
I was going in thinking this was going to be an intense hunting humans situation, and was very pleasantly surprised. I kept going, did I? At first, like some of the stuff that was happening, I'm like, is this a comedy? And so then I Googled it and it didn't say that it, well, I didn't read fully because I was watching the movie, but it didn't come up like, you know, horror comedy. If you look deeper, if you read about it, it does say it's a satire. But so I was like, oh God, is this just really bad acting? And then the lady fell in the pit twice. I'm like, this has got to be a fucking comedy.
Yep. That was the turning point for me too. I was like, okay, I see, I get it.
And then it just took me for a ride, and I had a fun time.
It's a journey of a movie. Like,
yes. I agree. It was a really nice balance of comedy, I thought the delivery of the comedy was good, of the satire, and gore, extreme gore.
Yeah. I think message-wise, it was like sometimes a little on the nose, but also it was self-aware of that fact. You know what I mean? Like it was self-aware of the fact that it was being on the nose, and it was also clever, which I felt like some other movies that we watched are not that. And so I think I liked it because of that. And I felt like it had like layers as far as that went. Like it was clever the way that it was written. And so that's why I got to the end of the movie and I was like, who wrote this? Oh, one of the writers from Game of Thrones. This guy's, super well known and good. I mean, some people would vehemently fight me on that because people hate the end of Game of Thrones and therefore hate the two main writers on it. But I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was clever.
Yeah, me too. So Zobel and Lindelof. Lindelof. So the writer and the director have said that the film is intended as a satire on the profound political divide between America left and right. Mm-hmm. And they did not mean it to be a controversy. They didn't create it to be controversial. They created it as a satire on that big divide between left and right. And I thought they did a really good job of that because you see two like the worst of the worst right side, right?
Right.
And then the worst of the worst left side too. Like it's just like ridiculous. Both sides, and I thought they balanced it really well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like both were just ridiculous.
They were, out of control. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. Because I know there was this little thing that Trump was saying, oh, like this movie, you shouldn't see it. I didn't really read much into it, but I could see if they were explaining if anyone was explaining to him or anybody else, it's like, oh yeah, it's like liberal side is completely killing a bunch of crazy, a conservative side that isn't good. And you made a comment of that's going to spark violence if you're looking at it that way, but that's not what it was.
No,
it's like just total ridiculousness.
Yeah, I first I was like, I'll be honest. You open up the movie and I was like, oh no, I don't know about this. Like I just was like, again, it's like very on the nose, very like, it's like, this is who we're making fun of, basically. Like it just, but you don't quite get immediately yet that it's a comedy, right? Like, or a satire. So you're like, so I was like, oh no, what is this going to be? But pretty quick, you start to realize like, there is no like one side target for this movie. Like they take exactly what you're saying, these examples, and push them to the like extreme, and it's so far that it becomes funny because it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? And so I liked it for that. It was good.
Yeah. Sorry. I completely agree. And just thinking about it, though, the humor was quick and witty. And I know I've said it before. I love that. And even though it's corny, it's just delivered so well. Like the one where one of the rich guys, the hunters, when they were planning, comes out in a kimono. And they're like, are you wearing a kimono? And he goes, yes. And they're like, that is propagation. And then he's like, excuse me. And they're just going through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so funny. Just they were going back and forth. And then the one guy, then he goes, well, what about me? He was he Middle Eastern? And he was like, and you're making me the refugee? And then the other guy goes,
I think so.
And then the other guy goes, well, you volunteered for that. And I did think that was a little weird. Just
everybody's
this quick conversation that everyone's having with each other.
This was your idea. And I did think it was weird. So
yes, it was just so good. And then when they see the pictures of all the people that are being hunted, and they're so off the wall, racist or bigots, like off the wall. I just thought that was great.
And then their interactions too, right? Like you get into, like you're saying, the dialogue and the jokes and stuff, like that guy on the train being like, you're all crisis actors to these like refugees. And you're like, oh
Yes.
my God.
And then the one guy is like, okay, look, dude. And you're like, oh, wait, what's happening here? And he's like, he is a crisis actor. And
yeah, he's like, but no, the rest of these people are not. Okay,
Yeah.
They're just like casualties.
just me, I'll give you a head start.
Yeah,
Oh
That's
my
very-
gosh. And then
pretty funny.
I really, and the more I talk about it, I'm like, I really liked it. And how shocked I was when Emma Roberts, because she was really the only one I knew at that point, knew who they were. And then she gets shot. And I was like, wait a second. I rewound it because I was like, is she still alive? And because here, I don't know it's a comedy yet.
Yeah.
And she's like the most known actor I know of so far. And I'm like, oh no, she's no longer has a head. So, okay. And then the handsome guy gets shot or he gets killed.
Yeah.
Or no, he blows up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is.
I know. I wasn't like prepared for like the level of carnage so fast in the movie
Yes.
that it was like, it was funny just because you're not expecting it. And I like how also the reactions of the people are very realistic because I'm watching the movie and as things are happening, I'm being like, what the fuck? And then the next person's line would be like, what the fuck? Or like something else happened and that guy I think is scrambling away from the gunshots and he's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like I had just said that. Like I just was like, Jesus Christ. Like there's no escape. It's just like total chaos. You know, they're getting fucked up. Just immediately people are dying. And I thought that was funny because it felt, again, very self-aware. Like they knew how the audience would react to this. And so they like wrote it into the dialogue and
Yes.
Smart.
I laughed out loud when she fell into the pit and the things she was saying she was saying she was going to have some ice cream or something like that. And I was like, this is where I was like, this has got to be a comedy. I hope so, because this is really bad acting then. And he gets her out and then blows up and then she lands
back in there,
like totally like stabbed the exact same way. I was like, okay, this is
the second time her like entire legs she's totally gone.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have her legs, but she's staked. I was like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope they can carry this through to the end, and I thought that they did.
I thought they did too. I think they did a good job of holding that tone all the way.
Originally they were going to release this movie in September 2019, but because there was the Dayton and El Paso mass shootings, they decided not to because of all the shooting in the movie. So then they held it back and released it in 2020, which then was 2020.
Yeah.
It was the pandemic. And so, they suffered a bit with that as well, but
yeah,
just a little.
That makes sense because I feel like this movie really like flew under the radar. Even Jade asked because I was like, you might want to watch this movie with me. It's pretty good. After I watched the first like 15 minutes, so I rewound it and had him watch the rest. And he was like, how did we not know about this movie? And I think it's just because it kind of got buried in no one went to see it because theaters closed and stuff. So,
and I think they released it for a 48-hour rental, for a period of time.
Oh, okay.
For $20 to try to make up some of that money, but it was a struggle. The original script was actually going to be called Red State versus Blue State. I'm glad they called it The Hunt.
Yeah.
Because that's like really, you guys don't.
A little more approachable.
Yeah, exactly. Don't really know what's going on. And guess what? It was filmed in New Orleans. I know you just got back from New Orleans. So yeah. Thought you might like
Interesting.
that. They did have, so there's tons of stuff on Animal Farm in there. Lots of stuff like the pig, the different people's names, Snowball. They even talk about it. But there was also this hint or this piece, the elite hunters reference to their quarry as deplorables. It's a phrase it was an allusion to the phrase basket of deplorables used by Hillary Clinton during the 2016 United States presidential campaign against Donald Trump. So they did really plug in a ton of different stuff in here. That was that, and the majority was the Animal Farm, which made me actually go to the Cliff Notes for Animal Farm, because I read it a long time ago just to like brush up on what that story was about. That was fun.
Anything?
I was just going to say, in Animal Farm, the Animal Farm name is Manor Farm.
Okay.
And then the animals change it to Animal Farm. They call one of the guys Squealer and that is a character in Animal Farm as well. I forget which guy. I'd have to look that up again. Definitely Snowball. There was, oh gosh, what else was there? Let me pull this up.
I never read this book. I think I tried to start it when I was like a kid, but I didn't get very far. So I don't understand any of these references.
Okay, so this is from IMDb. There are many references to George Orwell's 1945 book Animal Farm. So one of the hunters on the plane calls the deplorable who woke up early, so Randy, Squealer.
Oh.
And that is a pig in the Animal Farm. The pig is named Orwell, the pig itself.
Okay.
There are jars of pickled pig's lips. Oh my God. Okay.
Ew. Where?
I'm moving past that. In Ma and Pa's store.
Oh, okay.
Ma says the line, this is what I was trying to remember. Ma says the line, "Will there be sugar after the rebellion?" And that is a line directly from the novel as well.
Oh, okay.
When Ma reports that they got 3 of them, she uses Animal Farm code names, Molly, Moses, and Mr. Whimper. And when the hunters are choosing their victims, Athena says, referring to Crystal, that she was going to be their Snowball.
Right. Okay.
I didn't remember a lot from the book either. That's why I went and looked at the Cliff Notes summary, because I was just curious. And
yeah. This is like one of those books that I feel like I probably should read. I just have never. I don't know if I will ever.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lord of the Flies. You have this. Have you read Lord of the Flies or seen it? Oh, okay, that's a really good one. It's different, but same in the sense where you have this group of animals or people on their own. They don't want to be ruled anymore. They want to take over and create this utopia of their own. And someone goes in charge and someone gets greedy and people or animals start getting killed and governments are formed. Religion is formed. All of that sort of stuff that, we're trying to get away from by creating this utopian society, and that, we always come back to. I think in George Orwell's time, it had to go with the Stalin and the political, stuff that was going on at the time. But, in a nutshell, there's history and literature with Felicia 101.
I did like that piece at the very end where she is like, "Why did you call me Snowball?" She's like, "Yeah, but like, wouldn't you be Snowball?" She's like, "It's a reference to Animal Farm." She's like, "Yeah, but wouldn't you be Snowball in this case? Because people made up lies about you." And she's like, "You read Animal Farm?" It's like, that's it in a nutshell. That's this movie in a nutshell. Is like, the shocking part of that statement isn't that you may have misinterpreted this. It's that you're shocked that this person read the same book. It's just totally missing the point. The movie. You know what I mean? Yes. It feels like.
Yes. I loved that as well. Because it was on both sides where people are judging other people.
Yeah.
Based on their political party, where they came from, on both sides, because they chose all of those people to hunt. The rich people, the elite people chose the people to hunt based on their opinions that were differing, or what they were saying, like the guy that had the podcast, or like Emma Roberts. There were a couple that were like, really racist. That like there was one that was like a picture of them, and they were really racist. But the one of Emma Roberts, like she obviously has a relative, a father, somebody. It's just a picture of her standing by a man who is a political man, right? So you're assuming that this person is probably on the conservative side, right? If they're against them, but they don't. That's it. So assuming that because they don't have the same views, but also on the other side of the podcast and fueling those rumors that they hunt people and things like that. So it's like both sides at each other and totally, what am I trying to say? Not misunderstanding each other and not
making assumptions. Thank
you. And then, and then fighting each other for it. And I thought that was great.
I think, again, it's perfectly summed up at the end where she's like, oh yeah, you, Crystal, went and did this thing online. She's like, I hate to burst your bubble, but you have the wrong fucking Crystal. You made this assumption about me. That's not even me. Like, there's a different person in my town with the same name, different spelling, and you fucked up.
Yes.
So your assumptions, like, are not sometimes even anywhere near correct,
Yes. When we're talking about this scene right here around this time, it's these little things. God, I love it, movie makers. Movie makers, when you do this, when you have that on point comedy. She was about to slam
Athena.
Yeah, thank you. Slam Athena through the door and she goes, wait, no more glass.
Yeah.
Opens the door. They both agree in that moment, no more glass, opens the door. Then they go in and fight. So good.
I liked the fight scene from that perspective, that there were moments of rest, like they are, because they're so equally matched, and they go through the glass the first time, they're laying on their backs, and one of them's like, just a second. The other one just nods. Yeah. They're trying to catch their breath before they keep going. I feel like I have never seen that, maybe, that I remember. It's like, okay, hang on, let's...
Yeah, it was good. I loved they're both, everybody is like the main character, but I loved Snowball, Christy. I really liked her. She was a formidable opponent. I thought she did really well. It wasn't unbelievable, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I felt like she could really do the things that she did. It wasn't fantastical. I mean, the last fight with both of them just ripping into each other was a lot. But like when she, oh my God, I loved it. When she went downstairs and, let's see, I said, oh yeah. So when, I think they put the pig downstairs and they were shooting and one guy goes, you almost shot me. And the other guy goes, but I didn't. He goes, yeah, but you almost did. Then his head exploded.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch.
I love that. And I was listening with headphones. I was watching on my iPad and listening with the headphones. And I went, oh, really loud. And everyone in the room looked at me because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
That was great. I loved it.
It was a shocking movie. There were many times where Jade and I definitely exclaimed something out loud.
Yes.
I was constantly like, oh shit, not expecting stuff to happen. Yeah.
And there was believable moments as well. Like, for example, right around that, she's pointing at the gun at somebody and they release the
magazine?
Yeah, the magazine. Thank you. I was like, Steve would be so bad. I don't even know how to say any of these things. Release the magazine, but she had one in the she had one in the gun and she knew
in the chamber.
And she had, yeah, you're right. She had one in the
Look
gun.
At me.
She had one in the chamber. Good job.
I don't know anything about guns. I don't know where this
is all coming from.
Oh yeah.
And there you go. And that's realistic.
Yeah.
And it's clever. I loved it.
It was good. I liked her too, and the choices she made all the way through. Like, she was very smart. I love the survival aspect and the
revenge, right?
Yes, and revenge. Yeah. So this is perfectly encapsulated in this character, and I liked her as a character. She was so refreshing on top of the choices she made, who she was as a person. I really, really enjoyed watching her go through this. That was a real treat. I feel like that's the highlight for me of the movie. It was a good movie overall, but for sure she shone in this movie, like outshone, whatever. Everybody else, like it was, her acting was really great. Her as a character was really great. The lines were well delivered. I don't know. I just was really impressed by her.
Yeah, I was as well. And I agree. It was very satisfying because making decisions, I would like to, I say like I would make, but I mean, I would not, I would be dead. I would have been dead right by the, the crate in the beginning, full of weapons.
Me too. Yes. Totally. I like how she didn't even go for that because she was like, that's obviously a trap or it's bait, like I'm not going out there. So she fucking ignores it, goes off and does like her own thing, tries to figure out where she is, knows that those people are fucking with her in the thing, in the gas station. Like, she's just smart. She makes really smart decisions all the fucking way, and I loved it.
Yeah. The only thing I would have done is I would have taken the car and left, but it's, obviously I didn't want that to happen as a movie watcher. Right. Yeah. I want her to go and get revenge on all these bastards. So
on that note, I actually have a question for you, because this is one of the things that we weren't 100% sure on, and Jade and I had different reads on. So there's, after that scene is where they find them in their bunker and they kill them all. And then it's down to her and the guy who trained them. He's like some service member and he's like dying. And so she has a little conversation with him where he's like, you shouldn't go after Athena. Like, she's been training for 8 months. You don't know what you're up against. You won. Just walk out of here. And she's like, her line is very weird because it's like not really words. She's like, she says, she's like, I am a little, she kind of hums.
Yeah.
And I work at a car rental place and there's nowhere to put that. So maybe today I can just, and she points forward.
Yeah.
Like, what was your read on, like, what this meant? And I'm sorry for listeners who fucking have not seen this movie. You have no idea what I'm talking about. I hope I did a good job of explaining.
That's like literally what she said.
Yeah.
I watched it twice. I did.
Also,
oh, yeah.
It's important to note that there was a tear. She had a tear fall down her face. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I rewound that to watch it again, because I thought I missed something. How I read it was that who she is back home isn't anything really exciting or important, or maybe she wasn't feeling hopeful about her life in general, and she wasn't feeling like she was really special or doing anything special, or she didn't really have much to go back to, is how I read it. And so she was like, maybe today I'm fucking epic, or like I mean something, or I do something that means something in this world besides going back to the life she lives and just working at the rental company. And that's definitely the feel I got. I don't know if I'm right. The feel I got was that she wasn't very satisfied with her life and who she was in her life.
Interesting. Okay.
What did you guys read?
Yeah, that's even different than what we got. Jade thought she was saying like, yeah, I'm kind of crazy. And so for today, maybe I can focus that crazy on this. And I took it as kind of similar, but different, in the way that she was in the service, because in the same conversation, it's revealed that she was in Afghanistan. And so she's trained for this. So I thought like it was a little bit more like, I have this training, like I'm high strung. I'm built for this in a way, like, or I've been molded into this, but I work at a car rental place. There's nowhere to put that. Like, so maybe today I can focus that energy on this,
Oh, Tawny, that's making me think kind of like, so my husband and I were talking about this because we had just watched a movie when soldiers come back from war and just acclimating into everyday life is really hard. And a lot of times, when I say a lot of times, please, I'm like, no, I'm not knowledgeable on this, but you hear stories where they actually want to go back, and you would think, oh my gosh, you were in this war and you just dream of coming home, because we were watching a documentary. That's where all this is coming from. And then once they're home, though, it's just they can't acclimate, and they don't feel comfortable. And so they want to actually go back and take opportunities to go back into war. That kind of makes sense based on how we just found out that she what actually was a soldier, and now she's just like working at the car rental place, that maybe this is something that she feels she's good at. She's like, this is who she is.
Yeah, she's like more comfortable in this environment that she is in her day-to-day job, you know?
Ooh, I changed it. That's what I think my thing is too.
I have another question for you.
Yeah, let's go.
Because it's in that same section of the movie with Dawn, right? Mm-hmm. So Dawn's been with her for a little while, and then Athena comes over the radio and is like, Dawn, kill her, shoot her. She knows who you are. You've blown your cover. Just kill her. Do you think Dawn was in on it?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know why. Because I believed him. Because he wasn't giving it up. He wasn't giving it up, and so I thought he wasn't. But obviously, we're not sure. Yeah,
and they don't answer it because she asks when she finds Athena, like, was Dawn really, or something? There's some kind of exchange where she doesn't answer the question, basically.
Yeah, she's like, maybe not.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me think that he could have been in on it is his accent dropped right at the end. I don't know if you picked up on this.
Oh, I didn't.
He had kind of like a southern accent, and like the last couple of lines he says, it seems like the accent is totally gone. This is the thing that I would like to go back and rewatch because I'm not sure. And I can't remember if I don't remember him being there in the scene where the flashback where they show them all together planning this out. I wanted to double check. Like, I don't remember him.
I don't remember him being there either. So let me say this. In IMDb, under the spoiler section, there's this little paragraph here. So mounted on the wall of Athena's manor are 11 photographs of those in the hunt. A close-up shows 9 of these photos in detail. Dead Sexy, Vanilla Ice, Target, Big Red, Staten Island, Yoga Pants, Gary for USA, The Justice for Y'all, Picture of Crystal, and Big Game Shane. The 2 unseen photos are likely of Dawn and Bandana Man. Presumably the missing 12th photo was Randy's, as he was killed en route to Croatia, though it could have also been Dawn, Athena wanting to maintain the possibility of him being a hunter.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll never know.
Mm-mm.
But my assumption is that he was. Because where does your accent go? In the last, and then she shot him right then. And so I assumed she picked up on it too and killed him. But maybe they were words that wouldn't have had that accent applied. I don't know. That's what I want to go back and watch.
Yeah, I want to too now because I have no idea. I didn't catch that.
The last thing that I think I have for my personal notes is in their fight. You remember at the very end where she picks up the shotgun and she pinches her arm? I was like, of all the things in this movie that most affected me. Because I was like, ow.
That would suck. Ouch. Her arm in the gun.
People are getting blown up. Fucking shot in the head.
And we're like, well, because when you've gotten like a pinch,
my
your
skin
is pinched, but it was like a huge piece of her flesh.
Forearm. Yeah.
I had the same thing. Ow. Oh, her arm.
That's that thing at work. I've talked about this before. I'm going to say it again. There was some kind of comment made by Eli Roth, I think, in an AMA on Reddit somewhere, where he was like, the reason why it sucks to watch a scene of somebody getting their like Achilles heel slit is because you know what it's like to get a paper cut.
Yes.
But watching somebody get decapitated, there's no frame of reference. And so that's why those types of things like hurt us more. And I just felt like that was a good example.
That is a great example. Yeah, because we've all gotten our skin pinched in some way, right? Because I had the same reaction.
Yeah, I was like, ow,
ow, ow, ow, stop.
And then immediately realized how ridiculous I was being because I was like, I've watched people, just the carnage, up until this movie. And then I'm like, oh no, her scan.
This, just these little lines. I have a line here. It was from more towards the beginning. And it's when, I believe when the first 3 or 4, I don't remember how many people there were. Oh, there were 4, but only 3 got over, were climbing over the fence. And the last guy was going to climb over the fence and an arrow hit the fence. And he says, what is this Avatar? Bullshit.
Yeah.
Just these little things were so funny and well delivered. I loved it.
Yeah, the lines were so good. I like when she tells that really fucked up story and Dawn goes, your mama told you that story?
Yes. Yes. The conversation with the rich people, that was funny. I had wondered, I didn't see anything about it, but they really do make a point of not showing us Athena as Hilary Swank. But she's
why
in
is
all
that?
the pictures.
I didn't understand this. I thought that was really a weird choice.
I wondered if when it first came out, she wasn't in I only saw a tidbit that you don't know who Athena is or you don't see it's Hilary Swank until this point in time. But remember with 7, they purposely kept Kevin Spacey out of everything. Now, a couple years later, I put in The Hunt, I see Hilary Swank right there.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if maybe when they put it out, they didn't and they wanted to keep, because she was a big actress.
I mean, maybe. I just don't understand why. I don't know. It felt weird to me. I just was like, okay, it's Hilary Swank. Like, I don't think it would have been different to see her.
No, I don't either. I think it would have been epic if it was like, maybe do that if it's Glenn Close or like some really, epic actress. I can't
think of who
Sarandon.
it could be.
I don't know.
Why does it matter to us? In 7, it matters because this person's a criminal on the run. They, we as the audience and the cops don't know who it is. I think there's a reason for that where they're shielded from us. This is like, it feels like they did it just so that they could reveal that it is Hilary Swank, but Hilary Swank as a person means nothing to me. So I'm like, yes. I don't know.
I felt the same because usually in movies when they reveal, you're like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. Like, for example, this is going to sound stupid, but we just watched The Lost City, I think is what it's called. And I was like, oh, it's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is the blah, blah, blah. And so when there's like this character where you're like, oh shit, like how I feel whenever Snoop Dogg is in a movie.
I mean, that's fair.
Shit, it's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
But I did not have that reaction with Hilary Swank at all.
Yeah, like why?
Or I'm trying to think, there's a movie where it's Tom Cruise and he plays this, I think, like sleazy agent, and I can picture him in my head and cannot picture what the movie is. Probably people are like, it's this movie. But anyways, that was another thing. Didn't know he was in it. And here he comes in playing this character of this sleazy agent. And you're like, oh shit, it's Tom Cruise.
Right.
But Hilary Swank isn't that to me. I think I just made that point. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like, what is she? Yeah, I don't get it. And maybe there's a thing. Maybe there's a...
Meryl Streep is my favorite. And if it was Meryl Streep, maybe I would have been like, oh shit, it's Meryl Streep. But
yeah, maybe.
Other than that, I don't think.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't fit to me. If there's like I think that's. I don't know. I didn't watch this movie with Brad Pitt, but I could see how it would be funny if there were like jokes made about like, there's this guy who's like really handsome, or like this guy who's really huge or something, and it's like The Rock or Brad Pitt or whatever. Like, so you kind of set up the joke that you're like, oh, and it's this person, right? But that's not what happens either. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in that movie, and don't worry, guys, I'm not going to give anything away. You could see Brad Pitt's in the movie if you look at the movie poster, but it is because he's such a big actor, and this is kind of like a silly little thing, and there is comments about being good looking, and then they really joke it up in that movie about it. So yeah, Hilary Swank is just Hilary Swank, the rich elite person. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
okay.
Right.
I didn't see anything about it.
If there's a thing,
it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back. It's not like during 2019, she was real hot and big at that time, you know, back in the day when she was doing Boys Don't Cry and Cinderella Man. Is that or she was the, oh
I
no,
don't know.
baby. Well, she was a boxer, that movie.
Oh yeah, $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby. She was real big at that time. But maybe it's because she hasn't been in a lot of stuff. So now it's like, whoa, Hilary Swank is back.
Maybe, but like, but I don't think so. Maybe.
Maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. All right.
Funny.
Well, I don't have anything else to say about this movie, but I did enjoy it. Whoa, Hilary Swank is back. Thank God.
Oh my God, Hilary Swank.
I missed you. I did think it was funny how she was saying it wasn't a thing, but then we made it a thing, trying to justify it. But you made it a thing. That's the point. But then you did hunt people, though. You did do it. Yeah, but we weren't doing it. But yeah, you're doing it now. Do you not see how this is not right? How fucked up this is?
She's like, no, you did it. Yeah. She's like, you can see, just Crystal's like, okay, I mean, sure. Are we going to fight it out or what? Like,
I did love the end. Yeah. Where she got on the jet. And she gave that flight attendant caviar, champagne, and she was like, tastes fucking great, and is getting a flight back home. That was satisfying to me, too.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, Tawny, I will give you the honor of letting us know how you rate this movie.
Okay, I think I'm going to go 3.5. And the two that I was putting it up against that I feel like are the closest for me is Wrong Turn, 2021. I felt like this was trying to be similar in message, if not tone, or like definitely not tone, but the message kind of was trying to be there. And I felt like it really missed in Wrong Turn, the new one, for me. And sometimes I look at this score and I think, I gave that too high of a score. I know.
Oh no.
Josh is going to be pissed.
He's going to be pissed. I hope he listens to this episode.
But I think I gave it that high. I think it's okay because the other pros outweighed the cons for me. I don't want to ruin anything, but there were other things that I liked about that movie that outweigh that. But when I think about like the messaging, this movie did that so much better. It was it was on the nose, but like I said, it was clever and it was like self-aware, and I think I can forgive it for that, whereas the other one just felt like a miss. But the other one that I feel like it's similar to is Ready or Not, and this is also going to piss off Josh. I feel like I rated that movie too high. I don't know, because I was like, I think I'm going to give it a 3.5, but I think I liked it better than Ready or Not. I don't know. When I think back to Ready or Not, I don't know if I liked it on a 4 level. Maybe it's one of those movies, though, that like when I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then I don't feel the same when I like walk away from it. But I think that's where I landed, is 3.5.
Nice score. So I'm real close to yours. Okay. I am rating it a 3.9. And the reason is I was looking at some of my 4s, and I don't want to rate them a 4, but I did enjoy it more than Tragedy Girls. I loved Tragedy Girls. I think I just enjoyed it just a little bit more because I love to laugh. And I felt like this movie really made me laugh. Mm-hmm. And then I was also looking at it against some other Tucker and Dale, or Dale and Tucker versus Tucker and Dale. That one I liked more. That's like that one, I think back, I want to watch it again. I feel like I should have rated it higher. Yeah. Because I keep going back to this flipping movie. But yeah, 3.9 for me on this movie.
Okay. I also looked at Tragedy Girls because after I had established those two, I looked at other ones that were close and I felt like I liked it less than Tragedy Girls. So I gave that a 3.9. So yeah.
Yeah. And you gave Tragedy Girls a 3.9 and I gave this one a 3.9. We just flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it is, again, really good to be back. I love you, Tawny. I'm so excited that we're recording again.
It's nice to be back after a break.
It's a long break. Okay, next week we are going to be watching Pandorum. Is that what it's called, Tawny? All right.
Yes.
So next month, we are going to be doing science fiction horror. And the way we started that off is we are going to have the lovely, lovely duo from AFOF on our podcast, and they are bringing The Thing. So then in honor of them and that movie, we decided to make all the movies science fiction horror. So we'll be watching Pandorum next episode. And tomorrow we're actually going to be recording with the Horror Bandwagon. So excited. We're going to be going on their podcast to talk about Audition.
Yes.
Literally, again, we are going on anybody's podcast who will let us talk about Audition.
Dude, yes. I'm so excited. In the prep work for this episode, I'm like, I could talk about this movie for fucking days. I will not ever shut up about it, probably. So just so excited.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And I know what Tawny's feeling is back in January was I on a podcast on Elm Street talking about Audition. And so when I rewatched it, it just like lit that fire of how much I love that movie.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's got to be one of my favorites at this point. It just makes me think. I really appreciate that about the movie. So, yeah, we don't know when that will air, but we'll keep you posted on it.
Awesome. All right, everybody. If you want to find us, you can go to Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick. Our link in bio will lead you everywhere else. If it's merch, if it's our website, which our website will also lead you anywhere else. You can subscribe to our newsletters so you can get updates. You can get merch and join our horror community Discord. All of that is in that link in bio. So you can access it there. And Tawny, what else?
You can support the show by going to our Patreon, or you can give us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. So we will see you next week, and we hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.